Day. My name is Melissa Oduor with Boniface Morethi on the sign language as we bring you news that made headlines today. Newswatch begins now. Our U.S. ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, has tendered her resignation to President Joe Biden after 2 years of service in Nairobi. Making the announcement, Whitman said she serves at the request of the president in light of the election of the Republican Donald Trump, who is expected to appoint a new ambassador. As per the American law, it is a standard practice for ambassadors appointed through political channels to step down when a new administration takes office. Now, Whitman has enumerated her achievements since taking over office in 2022, including delivering emergency funding to alleviate last year's catastrophic flooding and the ongoing malaria war, HIV and mpox. She says her efforts had led to more opportunities for American companies to do business with Kenya and streamlining visa acquisition for non-immigrants to America. Kenyans on social media have been pressuring Whitman to resign, accusing her of not calling out the crimes committed under President William Ruto's government, especially during the aftermath of the Gen Z protests that was characterized by extrajudicial killings and abduction of protesters. Now, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has confirmed that the opposition outfit Azimio Coalition is currently engaged in discussions aimed at reinforcing its position as the primary opposition. Addressing the press, Kalonzo emphasized the need for talks, asserting that this strategy is essential for providing effective oversight of the government as the country approaches the 2027 general elections. Dolly Muregi with that story.
Amid increasing tension within the Azimio coalition, which has been facing significant internal divisions and defections recently, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has confirmed that the discussions are underway to reinforce the coalition position. This comes after a notable withdrawal from the coalition by Martha Karua's Kenya party. The withdrawal occurred after a faction of leaders from the largest party in Azimio, the Orient Democratic Movement (ODM), aligned themselves with President William Ruto's administration as part of an initiative known as the Broad-Based Government.
Nobody is walking out from this side, and the ones who have given notice, and because we believe it is good. It is good. And we'll talk to everybody going forward. Yeah, we'll talk to everybody so that we build a strong coalition. So when you talk about strengthening, actually, I think what I can tell you, a time is coming when we'll ask everybody to validate their membership in Azimio and expand. Others come, others leave. Because while Kenya Kwanza want to force everybody into one party, right? We want Kenyans to know there's space in our side of the coalition.
Kalonzo has continued to express criticism towards the Kenya Kwanza administration, asserting that the government should uphold the democratic principles and cease the harassment of Kenyans based on the political affiliation and associations.
Don't punish your opponents. You know, now, there are business people in this country who cannot dare to be identified with the opposition because they know the KRA people will be on their case tomorrow. Yani watu wanaishi kwa woga. So we must say no to fear. In a democracy, you cannot have that principle of fear.
Kalonzo has criticized the government for its handling of the recent abduction and extrajudicial killings, accusing the administration of being indifferent to the issue, while many families affected by these incidents are still awaiting compensation.
This is deep. Kenyans are hurting, their parents are waiting. There's still parents asking, where are our children? And you hear Inspector General Police saying, these are not under police. Who else carries pingu? Kama yule jamaa amezikwa kule Siaya, juzi. Found abducted or something na pingu. Nani anabeba pingu? Yeah. We have evidence of young people who were arrested and dumped in the rivers, some in I think Murang'a, Kware. The Kware issue, by the way. And here I want to make a very clear statement. If there is government still in place, can you go and clear Kware? Yani isafishe majeshi yende pale isafishe hapo na hapo mahali patengenezwe. So it's not enough to go and tell the world in Baku. Baku is the capital of Azerbaijan. Kwamba, hey, we are cleaning the Nairobi River. Start with the quarry. And maybe there are still more bodies there in Kware.
If we are able to get the country back to the rule of law, we'll not speak about issues of accountability. If we get this country back to the rule of law, we'll not speak about the issues of transparency. If we get the country back to the rule of law, issues of abduction and extrajudicial killings will be the issues of the past. Issues of disregard of the views of the people will be a thing of the past. Issues of corruption will be the issues of the past.
Congratulations, Hanifa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doing a good
Dolly Murigimbuvi for Hope TV.
Thank you, Dolly, for that report. Now, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has reiterated that those found guilty of cheating in the ongoing 2024 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations will be dealt with individually and not as institutions. Speaking today at the launch of the 2025 to 2028 University Management Plan, CS Ogamba also said that his ministry will continue to work with the University Academic Staff Union UWASU to bring to an end the ongoing lecturer strike.
We will treat each case individually. We are not going to condemn any group or any community or any school as a group. We are going to take individual action against individuals who are involved in any malpractice. You've seen a lot of arrests, and all these arrests are actually almost all in adults or teachers or the center managers, some of whom have already been interdicted because of that arrest. Once you appear in court, you're interdicted. So I'm urging them not to engage themselves in these particular malpractices because it won't pay. It does not pay to engage because we have a multi-sectoral team that is very, very alert.
Nairobi City County environment officers have received critical training on the principles of circular economy, climate change and adaptation aimed at empowering them to improve sustainable waste management and prevention, as well as climate adaptation practices across the city. Now, the Training of Trainers initiative focused on providing the 17 officers with practical knowledge and tools for climate adaptation and waste reduction. Organized by the leading Pan-African entrepreneur support organization, Growth Africa, in collaboration with the EIT Climate KIC, Europe's leading climate innovation agency, and community and funded by iCare Foundation. The training covered key areas in understanding and defining circularity principles and how to effect change through systems thinking. Through the training, Nairobi's environmental officers learned how to translate circular economy concepts into actionable solutions for the community, ensuring that waste management and prevention becomes more effective and resilient. Now we're taking our first short break here on Newswatch. More news items are lined up for you after these messages.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Hope TV presents News on the Go, every day at 4 p.m. for all the breaking news and news making headlines. Hope TV, look and live.
Rafiki so
is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Nina shukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Nina shukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki msoul.
Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
Thank you for choosing Hope TV, the channel that brings you hope, entertainment, and inspiration. We value you and would like to serve you better. Talk to us by scanning this QR code on your screen or go to our social media page at Hope TV Kenya and click on the survey link by the name Hope TV Survey. It will just take a few minutes but means the world to us. We value your feedback. Hope TV, look and live.
We're back with more news. Now, as the need to properly package reproductive health messages among teenagers continues to grow, Polycom Girls has collaborated, that's a Kibra-based non-governmental organization, has collaborated with partners to create a book called Siria Mwezi. This is an effort to create awareness on period poverty and demystify menstrual health, especially among this vulnerable demographic, especially for those living in the informal settlements. Vincent Mwinde, the Communications and Male Engagement Officer for Polycom Girls, spoke with Hope TV on this comic book that attempts to remove the harsh tones in teenage menstruation and invite the men in this crucial conversation.
So what inspired it is we were looking at a very innovative way of addressing issues of access to information and education specifically. But we didn't want it to be like sort of like what girls access in the normal setups in terms of homes. Because even this conversation of menstruation in homes, there are harsh tones. You'd call your daughter Kando, mwambie story ya menstruation, but the brother doesn't know about anything about menstruation. So there are harsh tones, even in schools. So the girls are called Kando.
Yeah.
They are, they're given information on menstruation, sanitary towels, alafu wanapewa sanitary products, and then they hide them so that the boys don't see them. At that time, boys are playing in the field. Tuko na mkutano ya girls. The girls. So we work with almost 50 partner schools in Kibera. 50 partner schools. So we have our own pad making company, Kibera Padco. Okay. So we make our own pads. Yes. So from scratch. So for us, we are certified by KEBS. We know what we are using in terms of making the pads. They are, certified by the Kenya Bureau of Statistics. So apart from that, we've been having those mentorship sessions and making sure that girls are able to access sexually productive health information. But we felt like there's an entire need of having conversation on menstrual hygiene management and specifically menstrual health. So the Siria Mwezi comic book is it's a school setup of whereby Hakima is one of the girls who is joining a new school. But then she also struggles to understand how the conversations on menstrual hygiene education in the school is on hushed tones, whereby she witnesses girls being set aside to have a meeting and boys go to a separate place to just play, but not being part of the conversation. And this really bugs her and really disturbs her. And she even sees how young girls in the school, how they experience their first period and how they carry themselves. And this really disturbs her. So she's able even to ask the teacher and even counter the teacher in terms of how the school handles conversation on menstrual hygiene. And this is how she was able to ask the teacher, why can't we even have men, and specifically the boys in our class, even be part of our meeting that we had, so that they also understand what menstrual education is all about. So even going forward, this also goes to a home scenario whereby even the father comes with a conversation on menstrual hygiene. He's able to be engaged by the young girl. So this brings in the conversation that any person in the community has a very critical role to play in terms of menstrual education and menstrual conversation in the community. So this is a call. The whole book is also a call to the stakeholders, so that they also understand what are some of the issues that girls and adolescent girls, specifically in schools and even in our local setup, really are affected with. Why Syria Mwezi? I know people are asking, why Mwezi?
Yeah. Yes.
But when we were thinking about it, personally, when I was thinking about it, it was, we always think of menstrual conversation secret. Siri. Ya Mwezi. The other communities in Kenya, let me specifically talk of the coastal region.
Yes.
Do you know that the coastal region, people use the moon to count days? Yes, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Secret, ya mwezi, it can be the moon, it can be the month. So that's secret that people try to use hash tones to talk about it, but we do no longer want it to be Siri. Under the campaign, this is under the campaign, My Period. My period. So just like girls to own the conversation. My period. It's my period.
Yes.
And I want to talk about it. And I want to openly discuss about it. So when I'm seeking assistance, people don't feel like it's something that I'm not supposed to be talking about. It's a taboo.
A very enriching conversation there is, for the sensitizing the teenagers on menstrual health and hygiene. To some international news now, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has appointed businessman Elon Musk and former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to lead a new government performance department. Although his department is not among official government institutions, Trump had stated that the two will have the responsibility of providing advice and guidance to his administration, in addition to working with the Office of the Management and Budget to drive changes in the country.
I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. We need to do it. Can't go on the way we are now. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. Be interesting. If he has the time, that'd be a good one to do it, but he's agreed to do it.
All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has issued a stern warning to world leaders at the COP29 summit, urging them to pay up to prevent devastating climate-led humanitarian distress. Guterres has stressed that time is running out to curb a dangerous rise in global temperatures, which could lead to widespread destruction and suffering. The UN chief had called on wealthy nations to meet their financial commitments to help vulnerable countries combat climate impacts. As climate-related disasters become more frequent and severe, Guterres has highlighted the urgent need for concrete action and funding, emphasizing that the future of millions depend on it.
The final countdown to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. And time is not on our side. So doubling down on fossil fuels is absurd. The clean energy revolution is here. No group, no business, and no government can stop it. But you can and must ensure it is fair and fast enough to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. COP29 must tear down the walls of climate finance. Developing countries must not leave Baku empty-handed. A deal is a must, and I'm confident it will be reached.
And the United States of America says it is not giving up hope on securing the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas, despite Qatar, a key mediator, suspending its involvement. According to State Department spokesperson Vedant Patel, the U.S. is pursuing several initiatives to bring the hostages home, even as mediation faces setbacks. Qatar has previously played a crucial role in indirect negotiations between Hamas and Israel. With its suspension, the U.S. is now seeking alternative partners in the region to help facilitate talks. As the conflict in Gaza continues, international pressure is mounting to prioritize the hostages' safe return.
We're continuing to pursue a number of initiatives to secure the release of hostages. That work is ongoing. We have not given up hope, and it's critical to us to get a deal done as soon as possible, especially so that we can bring the remaining hostages home to their families.
At business news now, Kenyan technology-driven electric mobility company Rome is set to establish 10 additional solar-powered Rome hubs in Nairobi with funding from Energica, a European Union-supported initiative under Horizon 2020. The project aims to accelerate the adoption of clean, resilient transportation solutions by offering affordable battery rentals, optimizing charging, and quick after-sale services for electric motorcycle riders in Nairobi.
I'm a rider, as you can see. I ride with the electric bike. I actually do a lot of online rides. Initially, we had 3 hubs. So wherever I'm moving within Nairobi, I had to plan myself with the amount of power that I'm remaining with, the percentage of power that I'm remaining with. Can it take me to Roysambu? Can it take me to Waiyaki Way, charging up? Or how far can it take me to Lusaka? Because we only had those 3. So this hub has come in handy for me.
So most of the riders who buy our bikes don't work around where they stay. So we needed a product that's going to be accessible for them in a more public stage.
The purpose of opening the Rome Hub today is because it will serve the riders who already have a Rome Air, and it will also encourage riders who've been wondering, what does it take me to acquire an electric vehicle? We are so happy that the hub will be able to serve people in Kayole, people in Dandora, people in Komarok, and when we check on this side, people from Donholm, people from Jiru, and so we are glad that the scope of riders within these areas will be attended to by the opening of this hub.
So we are designing this product on open architecture. Open architecture means we are not just going to support Rome bikes in future. We are designing the product in a way that it can be interoperable. So we are inviting other players like, hey, instead of you coming and developing a charging station, why can't you just come and partner with us? Then you focus on the sales, we'll focus on charging. So that will also pave way for other players to come in. Rome! Rome!
NCBA has signed a memorandum of understanding MOU with Express Money, a cross-border international payment solutions platform, to offer efficient remittance services to its diaspora customers. The strategic partnership will provide NCBA customers access to an affordable, reliable, secure, and convenient platform for sending and receiving money across Express Money global network, which includes over 185,000 partner locations in over 160 countries. Now, in the partnership, Express Money will provide both sending and receiving services through cash-to-cash, account credits, and mobile wallets.
Express Money is into the remittances and a cross-border payment space. We have reactivated Express Money brand and the product recently last month. Today we signed a contract with NCBA. NCBA in a very short span of time has really achieved a lot in terms of the awareness out in the market, customer acquisition. Remittances is very important for Kenya, and with the advanced technology capabilities of NCBA, it is not only the account holders or customers of NCBA, but the capabilities extend to the non-account holders of the Kenyan diaspora as well. So we are looking at this partnership not only from the money coming in with the NCBA, but we are also providing express monies rails when it comes to the money going out from Kenya in select corridors. So it's a very win-win, mutually beneficial partnership. Starting from Kenya, we are looking to expand our partnership with NCBA in other countries like Uganda, Tanzania, both the countries.
This morning we are celebrating the signing of our agreement with Express Money, one of the leading money remittance companies based out of Dubai. Remittances are an important part of Kenya's economic and social fabric. And so this is part of an ongoing initiative at NCBA to develop partnerships and execute arrangements that enable Kenyans in the diaspora to be able to remit money. This partnership will enable those who are sending money to terminate to wallets or to bank accounts, and even cash pickups across any of our 100 branches across the country. So about last year, we visited UAE, the GCC region, and we met Express Money. We've had relationships through the team that is working on these projects in the past from other areas in the sector. But so Express Money was a motivated partner, and that's always very important. I think they also saw a motivated partner in NCBA. They are interested in growing channels through which they can execute the remittance business into Kenya and as Amir said, in the wider East African region, and so are we. And so we were two like-minded partners interested to develop a relationship and a partnership. We've received great support to be able to do the due diligence, get the central bank approvals that are necessary for us to be able to do this, but most importantly, the technical work that needs to be done to integrate the connections that are necessary for us to execute a seamless, convenient service to our customers.
To sports news now, Gor Mahia Football Club has announced the termination of head coach Leo Neighbours' contract, citing a contractual clause. In a statement, the club's executive committee said it had reached the decision after a thorough evaluation in the interest of aligning with the club's long-term vision that had concluded that a change of leadership was necessary. The club, which has had 4 defeats in the 2024-2025 season, says it will now embark on searching for a new head coach. In the interim, the club has announced that Zedekiah Otieno and Michael Nam will oversee match responsibilities. Chicago Marathon champion Ruth Chepngetich has been crowned the October 2024 SJAC Sports Personality of the Month. This follows her exploits at the 46th Chicago Marathon in the USA in October, where she broke the one-year record of 2 hours, 11 minutes, 53 seconds held by Ethiopia's Tigst Assefa by almost 2 minutes. Chepngetich is also the first woman to win the Chicago Marathon 3 times. Her outstanding performance in Chicago has seen her win the coveted SPOM for the 3rd time after April 2021 and March 2022. SJAC President James Waindi commended Chepngetich for her historic performance, expressing his joy that Kenya now holds both the men's and the women's marathon world records. And so some NBA now. Steph Curry scored an impressive 37 points as Golden State Warriors edged past Dallas Mavericks with a 120-117 win in the NBA Cup at the Chase Center. On Klay Thompson's return, the 36-year-old Curry scored the Warriors' final 12 points, including a clutch 3-pointer that stretched the lead to 118-114, capping off his strongest season start. The NBA Cup, which starts with a group stage and moves on to knockout rounds, adds an extra layer of excitement to this season as teams compete for the league's new mid-season trophy.
Regulation, 4-point Dallas lead. Chiseling his way in, Irving, outside to Clay, underneath Gafford. Offensive foul. Right into Draymond Green. The time was Curry, no points in the fourth, just 2 points in the fourth here.
That's how we wrap up Newswatch tonight. Thank you for your invaluable company as we brought you news that made headlines today. My name is Melissa Oduor, together with Boniface Muredi and the entire production crew. Have a good night.